Our story begins high in the sky, aboard a luxurious commercial flight. Nina, a young, elegant, and kind-hearted flight attendant, moves gracefully through the cabin, attending to passengers. On this very flight, she meets HuAn, a charming, humorous, and strikingly handsome businessman. From the first moment their eyes meet, there's an instant connection. HuAn is captivated by Nina's beauty and warmth. After the flight, he wastes no time in pursuing her. He sends flowers, calls her every day, and showers her with his humor and charm. Nina, who has always kept love at arm's length due to the demands of her job, finds herself slowly falling for him. Their whirlwind romance quickly evolves into a serious relationship. Soon, they move in together and begin to share a life full of laughter and romance. Months later, Nina discovers she is pregnant. The news excites HuAn, who sees this as a sign that their love story is meant to be. He plans a romantic proposal and asks Nina to marry him. Overwhelmed with joy, Nina happily accepts. It seems as though the two are heading toward a perfect, happy ending. But happiness is short-lived. The very next day, two strangers barge into HuAn's life. They are not friends, they are debt collectors, sent by his creditor to demand repayment of a massive loan. Nina is shocked and confused. Until now, she had no idea that HuAn was in debt at all. That night, HuAn finally reveals the painful truth. Years ago, he owned a diamond trading company that specialized in buying, selling, and authenticating diamonds for wealthy clients. His company was doing well until disaster struck. One of his employees lost several high-value diamonds worth 200 million rubles. Unable to recover the loss, the furious client blamed HuAn personally and demanded compensation. HuAn's company went bankrupt. To pay back the furious client, HuAn borrowed heavily, over 150 million rubles, and has been living under crushing debt ever since. Despite finding a job at a large jewelry company, he has never been able to fully repay what he owes. Now, his creditors are losing patience and have resorted to threats. Things go from bad to worse. Nina, who is pregnant, becomes a target. During one violent encounter, she is physically assaulted by the creditors and tragically suffers a miscarriage. Heartbroken and devastated, Nina and HuAn's world begins to crumble. Determined to end this nightmare once and for all, HuAn devises a desperate plan. Using his insider knowledge of the jewelry industry, he learns about an extremely rare diamond that is being secretly transported internationally, hidden in the casing of a smartphone. If he can steal this diamond and sell it, he can finally repay his debts and start a new life with Nina. But HuAn cannot do it alone. He needs Nina's help because the phone carrying the diamond is set to be transported on a specific flight, and Nina just happens to be the flight attendant assigned to that very flight. Though hesitant, Nina agrees to help him. Believing this is their only chance to escape their nightmare. They plan the theft carefully, timing every move down to the second. However, on the day of the heist, fate throws them an unexpected twist. Their carefully laid plan is suddenly disrupted when a group of armed hijackers takes control of the flight. What was supposed to be a simple and precise theft turns into a deadly, high-stakes survival situation. The airplane becomes a battleground, and the diamond is no longer their only concern. As chaos erupts, HuAn and Nina must fight not only for their plan but also for their lives. With hijackers threatening passengers, security forces scrambling, and their own trust in each other being tested, every decision they make could mean life or death. Will HuAn and Nina manage to survive the hijacking? Will they succeed in getting the diamond? Or will their plan be completely destroyed? Mantianjie takes viewers on a tense, emotional ride full of love, betrayal, tragedy, and redemption, all set against the backdrop of a skybound thriller where every second counts. Will HuAn and Nina manage to survive the hijacking? Will they succeed in getting the diamond? Or will their plan be completely destroyed? Mantianjie takes viewers on a tense, emotional ride full of love, betrayal, tragedy, and redemption, all set against the backdrop of a skybound thriller where every second counts. It turned out that Nina's father had helped the gang to launder money. Later, he was shot by gang members due to accounting errors. This painful experience made Nina deeply painful. About the crime, HuAn swore that he would never agree to the creditor's theft plan and would pay off his debt in the right way. But HuAn's disagreement completely infuriated the creditor. 2 days later, when HuAn accompanied Nina to finish her prenatal examination and was about to drive home, 2 creditors suddenly appeared and, without saying a word, kicked HuAn. Nina, who was calling her friend next to her, was also kicked to the ground by one of them and passed out on the spot. After waking up, Nina found herself lying in the hospital bed. HuAn, who was next to her, cried and told her that the child in her belly could not be saved. Nina was in great pain. At this time, the creditor called HuAn again, urging him to steal the diamond or his life would be in danger. HuAn wanted to refuse, but Nina cried and asked him to say yes. In Nina's view, he had already lost his child and could no longer lose his lover. HuAn hesitated for a moment, followed Nina's instructions, and quickly devised a thorough theft plan. This theft plan also needed Nina's help. HuAn's jewelry company, Anbao, is very strict. It is impossible to steal diamonds from within the company. You can only do it on the diamond transport. And recently, there was a perfect opportunity. Recently, the Interior Minister of India ordered a batch of diamonds from the Middle East from HuAn's jewelry company. This batch of diamonds is worth 1.2 billion rupees. In order to ensure that the diamonds arrive safely from the Middle East to India, the jewelry company designed a variety of security measures. First, the diamonds are attached to a mobile phone. The mobile phone is equipped with a SIM card with a global positioning function. If the mobile phone deviates from the original route or the SIM card is taken out, the president and boss of the jewelry company will immediately receive a message. Second, the mobile phone with the diamond is installed in a small password box. It is delivered by a special delivery man to a designated flight and brought back from the Middle East to Singapore. HuAn, as the executive of the jewelry company, will also escort it. As the Indian Interior Minister who bought it, he sent his assistant to pick it up at Singapore airport. The password box with the diamond phone needs 2 sets of passwords to open. These 2 sets of passwords are kept by HuAn and the assistant of the Interior Minister. Only 2 people are present at the same time to open the password box and take out the diamond phone. In addition, the president of the jewelry company, Mr. Shah, also raised a high security bill for this diamond. If the diamond is stolen, the buyer will be compensated. HuAn plans to use a mobile phone with a fake diamond on the plane to switch the real diamond phone and insert the SIM card in the real diamond phone into the fake diamond phone. As there is no signal on the plane, Mr. Shah should not notice the abnormality of the SIM card. Coincidentally, Nina happens to be a flight attendant for HuAn and the delivery man. She can use the change of position to cover HuAn in an emergency. Based on helping HuAn get rid of the debt, Nina decides to help HuAn's theft plan. In order to switch the real diamond, she must first get another set of passwords to open the password box. For this, HuAn privately met with the assistant of the Interior Minister. The other party is a middle-aged man with glasses. HuAn directly revealed his theft plan to him and promised that he would share everything with him after it was done. That is to say, after the plan is completed, the assistant of the minister can get 600 million rubles. And Mr. Shah bought insurance for the diamond. All the losses of the buyer, the Interior Minister, will be fully compensated by the insurance company. More importantly, in HuAn's view, the Interior Minister can't afford a diamond worth 120 million rubles based on his own confidence. Therefore, he thinks that the money that the Interior Minister bought the diamond must have an unknown source. In this way, even if this diamond happens, the Interior Minister may not dare to claim it. In the end, this matter is unlikely to end. After listening to HuAn's analysis, the assistant of the minister said that he was willing to work with him. Then he sent the set of passwords he kept to HuAn's mobile phone. Time soon came to the day of the delivery of the diamond. HuAn took the same fake diamond phone as the real diamond phone and boarded the plane as planned. Hu knew that when the plane was about to take off, HuAn accidentally found that the delivery man did not board on time. He hurried to call the company's president, Mr. Shah, to ask about the situation. As a result, Mr. Shah changed the delivery man temporarily. And Mr. Shah did not want to reveal the personal information of this delivery man to HuAn. He only said that after the plane landed, the delivery man would take the initiative to call HuAn, and immediately understood that Mr. Shah should be worried that he would stick to his own way, so he came at the last minute. HuAn hurried to tell Nina on the plane about this unexpected situation. Although Mr. Shah concealed the identity of the delivery man from HuAn, but as far as HuAn knows, the delivery man did not eat or drink anything on the plane in order to ensure that the transportation process was not an accident so as not to be drugged and stolen by others. Nina could use this to find the delivery man hiding in the passenger compartment as soon as possible. At this time, the plane had taken off and Nina, as a flight attendant, asked the passengers on the plane if they needed food and drinks. Soon, a bald man sitting in the first-class cabin caught Nina's attention. The bald man was the only person on the whole flight who refused to serve. Nina speculated that this man was the delivery man who transported the diamonds. In order to uncover the bald delivery man, Nina deliberately put the food residue left by other guests on the delivery man's clothes when she was recycling the dining table in the luggage bag. The delivery man had to go to the bathroom to clean up the dirt on his body. But before he had time to go to the bathroom, he saw 3 armed robbers with black helmets suddenly coming out of the bathroom. The 3 quickly controlled more than 150 passengers on the plane. One of the robbers also pointed the gun at Nina, threatening the air police on the plane to quickly identify themselves and hand over the gun, otherwise he would kill the air police in front of him. In order to ensure the safety of the flight, every flight will have an air police disguised as an ordinary passenger. Faced with the threat of the robbers, a middle-aged man raised his hand and admitted that he was the air police and handed over the gun. After the air police handed over the pistol, the robbers tied up his hands with a rope. Finally, the 3 robbers drove all the passengers in the first-class cabin, as well as a few airmen including Nina, to the economy cabin, which was not yet full, and took away everyone's cell phones. During this process, a big fat man with 5 big 3 thick bravely stood up and tried to subdue the robbers, but was beaten to a pulp and fell to the ground. After this incident, all the other passengers were in self-defense and there was no one to resist. After fully controlling the situation, the robbers ordered the captain to change course and fly to Kourou Airport and contact the Indian government to release a prisoner named Adi. Otherwise, all the hostages on the plane would be killed. It turned out that the 3 robbers were members of the same terrorist organization. Adi, who was arrested, was the leader of the organization. The 3 men planned this robbery in order to save the captain. In addition to asking the Indian government to release Adi and send him to Kourou Airport, the robbers also asked the police to prepare a full-fledged helicopter at Kourou Airport as a means of transportation for them to escape. The news of the robbers' hijacking of the plane was quickly received by the Indian government. After a brief discussion, the official decided to temporarily agree to the robbers' request. After the Minister of Internal Affairs learned of the robbery, he was worried that the diamond bot would go wrong. So he hurried to send his assistant to Kourou Airport to participate in the robbery as a government agent and then find a chance to get the diamond back from the delivery man. At the same time, HuAn on the plane was also thinking about this diamond. He was originally sitting in the first class like the delivery man and was later chased to the economy class by the robbers. In order to return to the first class to transfer the diamond, HuAn pretended to be out of breath and lied to himself that he had an asthma attack and needed to go to the first class to get an asthma spray. The 3 robbers probably didn't want to kill anyone and agreed to his request. HuAn took this opportunity to find the luggage bag of the delivery man and found the password box with the diamond in it. But as soon as he entered the 2 sets of passwords and opened the box, he felt that he had a cold. It turned out that a robber came to him unknowingly. HuAn could only pretend to be calm and put the box back together and put it back in the luggage box. Then he pretended to look for the medicine bottle. The robber didn't seem to find the password box with the diamond in it. But HuAn was too panicked and forgot to continue pretending to be sick. The robber saw him acting suspiciously and punched him in the face. Along with the nosebleed, HuAn was in pain and made a loud scream and was soon driven back to the economy class by the robber. Nina saw her boyfriend was injured and took the courage to apply to the robber to treat HuAn's wound. After getting permission, Nina took HuAn to the medical area on the plane. HuAn took the opportunity to be alone and asked Nina to find a way to steal the diamond. But Nina was scared to death and didn't dare to do anything under the robber's nose. HuAn could only return to the economy class in disappointment. At this time, a robber saw HuAn looking unhappy and punched him in the face. Not long after, the Indian military, under the instructions of the senior government, escorted the terrorist leader Adi to Kuru Airport, designated by the robber. The helicopter the robber wanted was also sent here. The police did not intend to let the robber go. They received an order to find an opportunity to kill all the robbers to ensure the safety of the hostages. At the same time, the assistant of the interior minister also brought a diamond expert to the scene. The person in charge of handling the robbery was a deputy director of the Indian Federal Police. After the deputy director arrived at Kuru Airport, he used wireless communication devices to contact the robber and began to discuss the details of exchanging hostages with them. Due to the wireless devices on the plane being located in the rest area of the police station, the two robbers had no choice but to go to the rest area and make a phone call at the airport to leave a hostage in charge of the economic warehouse. HuAn then asked his girlfriend Nina if she could pour some water to see if the robber could drink it. This attracted the other party's attention. HuAn sneaked into the first-class warehouse and used a mobile phone with a fake diamond in his luggage to successfully swap the real diamond in the password box. The robber who followed him quietly saw it all. It turned out that HuAn's face was too conspicuous. So as soon as he walked forward, the robber in charge of the economic warehouse noticed the abnormality and followed him. HuAn saw that his diamond was exposed. He could only rush forward with his head and grabbed the gun in the robber's hand. The two of them were fighting with each other. At this time, the plane had begun to land. The gun in the robber's hand caught fire and hit the victim in the robber's hand and caused him to drink the meal on the spot. HuAn was suddenly shocked and stunned. The real diamond in the suitcase and the robber's gun also fell to the ground in the fight just now. HuAn picked up the mobile phone and the gun from the ground. The other two robbers heard the gunshot and rushed over. Seeing his companion killed, the two of them kicked HuAn. HuAn was beaten so hard that he could not fight back. But he still remembered the diamond in the suitcase while the two robbers did not pay attention. He quietly kicked the mobile phone to the hidden position under the seat. After the two robbers beat HuAn, they dragged him to the bathroom. The air police in the economy cabin saw that there was no robber in the cabin. They quickly took off the rope on the wrist and came to the first-class cabin and saw the body of the heavy gun robber. The pistol was also dropped on the ground. It seems that the two robbers just now forgot to pick up the gun on the ground in front of HuAn. The air police immediately picked up the gun and ran to the bathroom where the gunshot was heard. At this time, the two robbers were coming out of the bathroom. The air police shot 2 shots in a row and killed the two people. However, when the air police pushed open the door of the bathroom, HuAn was tied to the toilet and a time-stop bomb was tied to his chest. The countdown of the bomb has started. 10 minutes later, it will explode. Fortunately, the plane landed safely at this time. All 3 robbers were killed. The air police informed the passengers and crew that there was a time-stop bomb on the plane. The crew opened the emergency slide as soon as possible and organized the passengers to evacuate. The air police used wireless devices to contact the airport military and asked them to arrange a bomb disposal expert to come and remove the bomb. Due to the fear of her boyfriend's safety, Nina stayed on the plane until the passengers and other crew members evacuated one after another. Nina found another male passenger with a beard sitting on the seat and sleeping like a dead pig. Nina screamed for a long time and the male passenger didn't wake up. She had to remove the bearded man's glasses and wake him up. The bomb disposal expert arrived on the plane and confirmed that the time-stop bomb tied to HuAn's body was fake. HuAn was surprised. He picked up the Diamond mobile phone hidden under the seat. Then he safely evacuated from the plane. After the bomb crisis was resolved, several soldiers boarded the plane and prepared to carry the bodies of 3 robbers down. As a result, the 3 bodies flew away. The deputy director of the FBI, who was in charge of the airport, immediately realized that the situation was not right and hurriedly asked the military to block all the entrances and exits of the airport and let the passengers and crew who came down from the plane gather in the airport lobby. In order to figure out why the 3 robbers flew away, the deputy director decided to ask the air police who killed the robbers in the airport lobby. But after shouting for a long time, the air police did not respond. Finally, the captain found the air police who was sleeping in the airport lobby. But this man was not the middle-aged man before, but a bearded man who was killed by Nina. After getting off the plane, the bearded man sat in the airport lobby and fell asleep. When he woke up, he said that he had been sleeping all the time since he boarded the plane, and did not know that there was a robbery and did not kill any robbers. The deputy director only realized that the middle-aged man who claimed to be the air police was a fake, and the man was not in the airport lobby and probably fled. A soldier responsible for blocking the entrance of the airport sent a message and claimed that before the airport was blocked, a man in military uniform left the airport. From the description of the soldier, the man was the middle-aged man who pretended to be the air police. It seems that the other party and the robbers are accomplices. I'm afraid the 3 robbers are also fake. They pretended to be dead and caused a ruckus with a fake time bomb. It is estimated that they quickly changed their clothes and took off their helmets and sneaked into the passengers to safely evacuate the plane. If so, the purpose of the robbers hijacking the plane was obviously not to save the terrorist leader Audi. So what do they want to do? Fortunately, only one robber escaped and was the robber who pretended to be the air police. The other 3 robbers with helmets should still be among the passengers. In order to rescue these 3 people, the deputy director began to question the passengers one by one. At the same time, the assistant of the interior minister called Song HuAn and HuAn to an office and asked the diamond expert to identify the diamond brought by Song HuAn. When Song HuAn just left the plane, he brought his luggage down. Experts soon confirmed that the diamond in the password box was a fake. When Song HuAn learned of this result, he was very surprised. He called to tell Boss Shah that the assistant of the interior minister had already known the situation and reported the news of the lost diamond to the interior minister. After sending Song HuAn to the airport, the assistant of the minister asked HuAn to take out the diamond phone and let the expert identify it. Unexpectedly, after the expert identified it, he found that the diamond on the phone was also fake. The assistant of the interior minister suspected that HuAn had made another fake in order to monopolize the diamond. So he threatened that if HuAn didn't hand over the diamond within an hour, he would die. But HuAn was also confused and didn't know why the diamond was fake. HuAn, who had lost his mind, then came to the bathroom and washed his face with cold water to calm down. Nina also followed in. When he learned that the diamond HuAn stole was actually a fake, Nina tried to comfort him. But HuAn, who was depressed, was angry with Nina. He held Nina's neck and told her a secret. It turned out that HuAn pursued Nina not because he fell in love with her at first sight, but to coax her to help him complete the theft plan. After that, HuAn left Nina, who was shocked and sad, and left the bathroom. After he left, Nina's expression from sadness to indifference. In fact, Nina had long known the true face of HuAn. When the 2 people were looking for HuAn, and for the second time, Nina was calling her friend As a result, one of them kicked her to the ground and passed out on the spot. Her cell phone also fell to the ground. The friend on the phone heard the conversation between HuAn and Cui Jiren. The friend felt that the conversation between the two was a bit strange, so he recorded it and secretly sent it to Nina afterwards. Nina had already agreed to join HuAn's theft plan. After listening to the recording, Nina found that it was really strange because Cui Jiren had been apologizing to HuAn in a humble attitude. After that, Nina began to follow HuAn. As a result, HuAn secretly met Cui Jiren behind his back. From the three's conversation, Nina learned that HuAn did not owe huge debts. The two so-called Cui Jiren were just actors hired by HuAn. HuAn acted as Cui Shima in order to win Nina's sympathy and let her promise to steal diamonds for herself. After learning that Nina had miscarried, HuAn was not only not sad, but also lucky to get rid of a big trouble. What made Nina even more desperate was that after meeting two actors who played Cui Jiren, HuAn went to a woman's house again. Nina, who followed him, saw HuAn enter the house through the window and got together with this woman. In order to prove that what he said was not false, Nina also sent a secret message between her assistant minister and HuAn to the chief of internal affairs to threaten him to terminate the investigation of this robbery. Otherwise, this matter would have to be communicated to the media. In this case, the public would know that the chief of internal affairs spent 1.2 billion to buy a batch of diamonds at that time. Not only did he not keep his position, he could not even get a penny from the insurance company. Because the communication between the assistant minister and HuAn was short, it was enough to prove that the diamond theft case was a trick of both sides. The insurance company would definitely refuse to compensate. The chief of internal affairs knew that this robbery had something to do with the diamond he bought, but he had no choice but to hide the truth. According to Nina's request, after the case was settled, the chief of internal affairs blamed HuAn and his assistant for the robbery and sent people to beat them up. Nina changed her name, took a huge sum of money to sell diamonds, took a plane to a foreign country and started a new life. The air police who slept all the way became a hero who killed all the robbers in the media report.